Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I'm a little bit nervous because this is the first time I've ever done an energy reading on video for public consumption, so I appreciate your patience and understanding. Spirit has been prompting me to do this for a while, and I trust that they know what's best, not only for me, but for everyone who might watch this video. So here goes. This is going to be a different kind of reading because the specific purpose of this channel is not only to provide general energy readings for this collective, but to empower you as unique individuals with the tools to begin doing personalized readings for yourselves for your own introspection, healing, and growth, and to come to trust your own intuition and your inner voice. This first series of readings will be focused upon specific emotional triggers that can come up in relationships, beginning with jealousy. Although it can be very uncomfortable when we've been triggered, the point of a trigger is to bring unhealed issues from our past to our attention for introspection and healing so that we can learn more about ourselves, grow as people, make changes to improve our lives, and hopefully create more enjoyable relationships. Each week's spread will be tailored to examining a specific trigger. As a visual learner, I personally get very confused when doing tarot or oracle card readings that include more than 4 cards. I'll completely forget what each card is supposed to signify unless I've written out and matched up all the questions I ask to each card I've drawn. It's been immensely helpful for me to see everything laid out visually with questions and answers together. I know I can't be the only person who absorbs information in this way, so that's why I'm sharing my process with you. The other thing I've noticed from drawing out my card spreads on large sheets of paper was that it really helped me to contemplate the answers I received in the cards and also to receive additional downloads and memories from my subconscious or my higher self, if you like. If I took some colored pencils or watercolor paints or markers and just doodled or embellished all around the cards while I was thinking about the answers. Because I do have a hard time sitting still and quieting my mind to meditate, the simple act of outlining, coloring, doodling, or doing abstract paint washes can really put my brain into a receptive, meditative state where I can really get some great additional insights into what the cards are telling me about myself and what my guides want me to pay attention to. You can see in this week's spread template, I've done just some kind of abstract metallic watercolor paint washes in the background, just a little bit of lettering. And this actually is an example of one done with colored pencils. This is actually the first tarot card reading I ever did for myself about 16 years ago, for example, which I felt the need to keep for posterity, and I'm glad I did because it's been helpful for me to refer back to. I did it in a very general way. I didn't say what specific time frame I was looking for, so it's kind of, I guess, a full my life ahead type of reading, like what's in store for me in general. So because it was so wide open, it's actually been kind of nice for me to look back on and see, wow, that was actually pretty interesting and insightful. But again, this has been really helpful for me because this is a Celtic cross spread, which, if I hadn't pasted the actual tarot cards on there to begin with, I could have reused this, or actually could have still put other cards over the tops of these and reused the spread. But at any rate, it's just another example of the kinds of doodling and embellishments you can do to add honor and elevate the special time that you're spending with yourself to learn more about yourself and to grow. And after you make them, you can reuse these spread templates as many times as you like. So if this approach is of interest to you at all, I definitely recommend pausing the video and taking a screenshot of the blank card spread that we're using today, which is for jealousy, and drawing out the spread with the questions for yourself to be used with whatever tarot or oracle cards you have available. I've just used plain 18 by 24 inch recycled drawing paper here, And I've used some green and silver metallic watercolor paints and permanent ink pens and markers. I've also used some blank pastel green little note cards I happen to have around and just painted the edges of them gold so that they would stand out better on camera for you. I've also scattered lots of mostly green and silver crystals across the paper for some extra loving energy for your readings for today. So we've got some prenite here, some green, lots of green prenite. Whoa, yikes. Green aventurine merkabas here, greenish blue amazonite, hearts all over, green fluorite, and here we've got rainbow fluorite, more amazonite, some pyrite hearts, and what else? Oh, seraphinite. These seraphinite, I don't know if you can see that, but the patterns in the seraphinite, which comes from Russia, is really beautiful. They look like feathers on angels' wings. I hope you're able to see that. But quite lovely stone, seraphinite. And the seraphim are said to be the angels that are closest to God. So kind of neat stones. Oh, and a labradorite sun and moon kind of eclipse stone there. And rose quartz candles around the edges. Oh, and amethyst, of course. So adding a little bit of extra good energy for you all for your readings today. So the actual spread that we're going to be using today, this jealousy spread, comes from this book by Sasha Graham called 365 Tarot Spreads, Revealing the Magic in Each Day. And it's from page 71. And it's actually called Cinderella's Jealousy Spread, from the March 4th entry, because there's one spread for each day of the year. This Cinderella's Jealousy Spread is listed on the March 4th entry. And March 4th, 1950 was the original release date of Walt Disney's Cinderella animated feature film. So obviously there was a lot of jealousy going on in that Cinderella story with her stepmother, stepsisters against her, but also there had to have been, I'm sure, at least a little bit of jealousy on Cinderella's part against her stepsisters who were able to go to the ball and she wasn't, and things like that. So usually, as with anything, a lot of the things that are a lot of emotions that are leveled against us, sometimes people are reflecting back to us something that perhaps we're unable to see or unwilling to see in ourselves, even if it's just a little bit, perhaps. So that's, again, always something to look at, is that, are people mirroring back to us what some type of energy that we might be putting out as well. So when we're looking at jealousy as how it's showing up in our lives, in our relationships, it could be jealousy coming from us. It could be jealousy coming towards us. So we'll be looking at that and seeing how that comes up for this collective group in the 3 different readings that we do this afternoon. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. If you don't have tarot or oracle cards, another way you can approach this exercise on your own is to journal about each of the 8 questions here in this spread. With either approach, I highly recommend listening to some music featuring binaural beats in a frequency tailored for self-love, which I believe is 528 hertz. Binaural beats cause both halves of your brain to synchronize and work together, and that puts you into a meditative state, which is perfect for relaxation, journaling, and receiving insights from your angels, spirits, spirit guides, ancestors, your subconscious, and or your higher self. There are countless free options for binaural audio tracks here on YouTube, and they work best with headphones or earbuds. Just don't, under any circumstances, drive or operate machinery while listening to any audio tracks that have binaural beats. Just like you wouldn't drive or operate machinery if you were on the verge of falling asleep. It's just common sense, and most recordings do contain a warning, but I just want to throw that out there for you as well. Please be safe. So next up, I'm going to show you your choices for the 3 readings, and we'll get right into those separate readings. Feel free to watch any or all of the 3 readings that you're drawn to, and thank you so much for being here. And now for the exciting part, choosing your pile. You may wish to choose by the crystal or the oracle cards that you're drawn to. It's also perfectly acceptable to be drawn to 2 or even 3 piles because there could be a short message in each of the readings for you. Just please use your intuition and take only those messages that resonate for you and leave the rest for someone else. So, for pile 1, we have a pretty rainbow fluorite crystal that goes nicely with the Prism Oracle cards by Nico Pivarotto. Here we go. And the tagline for these cards is, tap into your intuition with the magic of color. That's the Prism Oracle cards by Nicole Pivarotto. Pile 1 with the rainbow fluorite crystal right here. Pile 1. For pile 2, we have a pretty heart-shaped citrine druzy crystal to complement the Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards by Caroline Smith and John Astrup. The tagline for these cards is astrology cards to illuminate your life. And they have the beautiful citrine druzy crystal. So that's pile 2. And for pile 3, we have a deep midnight blue sparkly sunstone crystal. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it looks like millions of twinkling stars. I guess you can see it a little bit better. Millions of twinkling stars in the clear night sky. This blue sunstone goes very well with the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle cards by quantum artist Lon. Let me see. Got the box for those right here. So, Sacred Geometry of Relationships for pile 3. A little bit of a glare there, sorry about that. The tagline for these cards is, fine-tune your awareness with sacred geometry and change the way you relate to others. So, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Feel free to pause the video here if you need more time to make a selection, and when you're ready, I'll see you in your reading. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the lovely rainbow fluorite crystal or were attracted to the beautiful Prism Oracle cards, this is your reading. Before we begin, I want to stress that I am not a trained medical or mental health professional, so I encourage you to seek professional help for any serious or concerning issues affecting your mental or physical health so that you can receive a proper diagnosis and appropriate care. That being said, pile 1, I do have to apologize to you for not pulling your cards while the camera was rolling. I got so excited I started pulling cards, and well, nonetheless, I decided not to re-pull the cards. I asked my spirit guides if I should, but they said to go ahead and show you these cards because some of these answers actually, honestly, really cracked me up. I hope you'll appreciate some of my spirit guides' slightly sarcastic sense of humor, or perhaps you're a very no-nonsense kind of person who likes very straight answers. If so, I think you're really going to appreciate these replies that they have for us. you're in the right place if that's you. So let's go through these, or if you just have a really good sense of humor too, I think. So let's see what they had to say here. So first question, what is the situation triggering jealousy? And the card that came up was determination. I don't know if you can see that. That one's really light, this light yellow. Determination. So normally this card determination, is descriptive of someone that, has is fixated, or it has really made a great internal commitment to something. Someone who's very determined. Oh, there's my cat, wants to join the reading here. Come on, Connor. There we go. It's an animal farm here. Sorry about that. I'm sure that's good luck, though. I hope you like cats. He's a funny little guy. At any rate, determination. What's the situation triggering jealousy? Determination, somewhat similar to stubbornness. The way I'm reading this, though, it could be someone could be determined and determined to and headstrong. Someone could be determined to do what they want to do, no matter what anyone else thinks, and that's frustrating, causing you jealousy, or you're being very determined and stubborn, or one simple, not simple-minded, but very very focused on something that could be causing jealousy in someone else. But the way I'm interpreting determination is a determination was made that didn't make you happy. So in other words, a determination as in a choice was made. So maybe you were not chosen for something, you were not chosen for a job, you were not chosen for a promotion, you were not tapped for a particular position within a philanthropic organization after you've done years and years of volunteer work there. You feel unrecognized, unappreciated, or you weren't chosen by a romantic partner. And in my case, yes, that last one definitely fits. I had a recent issue like that, where I was not chosen. And that's bound to make a person jealous, right? Especially if it's someone you care about. So that's the way I'm reading that card. So it's kind of not the obvious necessarily definition of that, but see how it fits for your position, for your situation. Second question, why am I jealous over this? Creativity. And what I'm understanding about that is you weren't, if we're going with the interpretation of determination as a choice that wasn't in your favor, you wanted to create something in that position, in that, as if you'd been tapped for that promotion at work, or if you'd been chosen, as that person's partner, you wanted to create something in that new position. That, having been chosen for that opportunity would have afforded you a new creative opportunity to create something in that organization from a new position, like a higher ranking position. You would have had more authority and more resources at your disposal, perhaps. If you would have been entering a new partnership, obviously, two people have more resources and more, more to offer together through their combined energies than just a single person does, just by virtue of being twice as much energy between the two of you. You can combine your focus and create something together. So obviously, that can create some disappointment, because the reason you were interested in that opportunity was because you wanted the opportunity to create something new, a romantic relationship, a new business venture, new artistic creations, whatever the situation was for you. That's why you feel like, now, because I wasn't chosen, perhaps, or because I chose something else, now someone else is jealous because they lost the opportunity to create something because they weren't chosen, or I lost that opportunity to create in that position or with that person because I was not chosen. That's my interpretation of that. Question 3, what am I trying to keep? And we got abundance. So that abundance, I'm jealous because I'm trying to keep abundance. Now this can be a thing where your mind is maybe not being completely honest. Not you, I'm not blaming you, but our minds, we're maybe feeling a little bit sorry for ourselves. We definitely feel bad, understandably so, because we weren't chosen and we've been denied an opportunity to create something new. And now we're feeling that, we're losing out on some additional abundance because, a new opportunity would have provided more opportunities for abundance, and now, we might be losing out. But that's probably just our, we're not necessarily losing anything, because we're still the same person we were without that additional opportunity. We haven't really lost anything other than an opportunity to add something. We haven't lost what we had without this additional opportunity, unless, there was a situation at work, I guess, if you were, going to be laid off or promoted, if that, that's not a typical work situation. But, I think this is more of a mind kind of getting out of control and thinking worst case scenarios. And our minds have a tendency to do that sometimes. They, we're already feeling bad, and then sometimes our mind can catastrophize and make things feel worse. And we start to spiral, and we need to, if we can, think to ourselves, is that really true? Am I actually worse off today than I was before this determination was made, before there was a choice made that where someone else was chosen instead of me? Am I really worse off abundance-wise? Perhaps time will tell. The determination that was made, 5 years down the road, we may look back and say, wow, I dodged a bullet, because that person ended up being, a closet alcoholic, and no one knew, or, and they were, destined to self-destruct like 2 years later or something. You never know. I'm just saying, time, the perspective we have today isn't the same perspective we usually have, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. And usually, whenever we look back, I think a lot of us can say, things have always worked out strangely, oddly enough, over time in our favor. Although sometimes, we've learned things the hard way sometimes, but ultimately, we usually are able to learn our lessons, and I think that's why you're here, is because you're the type of person who's looking to learn lessons sooner rather than later. You're doing more introspection and trying to find answers, and this to me seems more like the mind's tendency to get ahead of itself. And this response here is spirit guides reminding us to not let your head start catastrophizing and making things seem even worse than they actually are. It's upsetting if you weren't chosen for something, an opportunity that you wanted. You feel like you are unable to create something. You thought you wanted to create something new in that position or with that person. That doesn't mean that was the only situation that you could have that opportunity to create something new with someone like that, in a position like that. You could have a much better opportunity, a week, a month, a year from now. This isn't the only opportunity that you or we are going to have in our lives. And it certainly doesn't mean that our abundance is any worse off today than it was yesterday, or whenever this determination was made, this choice was made. Question 4, why do I feel threatened? And this was the only card that came out in reverse. Love, not being loved. That, again, like I was saying, my guides, these answers were pretty pretty straightforward for some of these questions. So why do I feel threatened? I feel like I'm not going to be loved. So again, even at work, you feel unappreciated if you've been passed over for a promotion. If you've worked your butt off to get that promotion, you feel unloved, you feel unappreciated. If it's a romantic situation, obviously, especially if you were in love with someone or really cared for someone, had your heart set on, being with that person, and just, really poured your heart out to them, and did everything you could to appeal to them, or just be a good friend and companion to that person. But for whatever reason, their boneheadedness or inability, blindness, something, for whatever reason, they're not seeing it, which doesn't mean that they won't ever see it. Sometimes, everything happens for a reason. I absolutely believe that. But this is why we're feeling threatened, is because we feel like we're not loved and we're never going to be loved. Again, the mind's tendency to catastrophize, we've got to make sure we try and shut that down and say, hey, this is one thing in my whole life, one person saying that, they can't, they're going to not invite Cinderella to the ball. They're not going to, they're taking someone else to the dance. They've proposed to someone else. Whatever the situation is, it's one person in our whole life that's made a choice that they could change their mind about tomorrow, because it happens. I don't want to give anyone's hopes up necessarily, because we do need to be realistic and hear what people are telling us. But people do change their minds. Situations do change. All kinds of things happen. And you could certainly change your mind about this person too, when you find out more about them or see what type of person they actually did choose, and you think, well, wow, I dodged a bullet. So you never know. Things that hurt today may not hurt at all, a year from now, 6 months from now. Things change. Things can change quickly. But what's most important is how we feel about things and to keep our perspective. And again, for us to think that just because one person made a bad choice or was blind to all of the, wonderful qualities and attributes we have, that's one person in our whole life out of all the people we're going to meet. And to think that just that one person's stupidity or lack of vision is going to cause us to not have love ever again that's catastrophizing, and it's not true. So we can't allow our minds to be telling us that and making us feel even worse than we do about an unfortunate situation or a stupid choice that someone made or a short-sighted choice. The fifth question: what false belief have I created? That's a great question. Comfort. So the answer to this question here is the false belief that we've created in this situation is we created a false assumption that being chosen and being able to, create this new opportunity in this new job or with this person, that would have brought us comfort for sure. Being chosen equals comfort, that it's a foregone conclusion. That's not true. Every relationship, every job, it all requires work, and it requires active work every single day. Both people have to really be in it, be committed to it, and be, having a shared interest in making things work and trying to make things better. And sometimes people aren't as generous as they seem, a few months down the road, as they're not as willing to put in the work 6 months later, and all of a sudden they're selfish. You never know. So again, the fifth question: what false belief have I created that's causing me to be jealous? Is that basically, if I would have been chosen for this, then my life would have been made. I would have been in comfort and I wouldn't have had to worry. No, that's absolutely not true. That's, one choice being chosen, taken to the ball or chosen by Prince Charming for Cinderella. The movie ends when, they are married. We don't see the work that they had to put in every day after that. So, that's a kind of a fairy tale. So it's unfair of us to think that we lost out on our life being made just because maybe somebody chose someone else, and it's causing us to be jealous because now our life isn't made. Question 6: how can I build my self-confidence? Great question. The answer to that is following your passion, finding out what really makes you passionate. And sorry, I was afraid my recording stopped there. Following our passion, finding out what really makes your heart beat faster, what really drives you. That and pursuing that. And that's what's going to help build your self-confidence. That's going to make you more attractive to, people, to opportunities at work, to opportunities with potential romantic partners, to friends, to everyone. It makes you magnetic when you're a passionate person who's going after what they want. That is huge. Everyone wants to be around an exciting, passionate person. So, the advice here from Spirit is to, go back to pursuing your passions. You can still create something wonderful and new. Do it by yourself. Don't worry about this choice that was made where some bonehead at work or, in a romantic situation didn't choose you. Continue ahead with pursuing something that really lights you up inside and still create something wonderful with that passion you have. It's going to bring in more abundance and self-love, and you're going to have plenty of love coming in from outside. So, this is huge. Great advice from Spirit. Now, our 7th question: how can I avoid comparing myself to others so I'm not knocking my self-confidence? Oh, you're going to love this answer. Stop. That's my Spirit guide. So either just very sarcastic or just very blunt and not funny at all. But stop comparing yourself to others. There's no one like you. There's no point in comparing yourself to others. If somebody else was misinformed enough to think that they were going to get a better deal, something more, attractive or worthwhile in some way than you by choosing someone else for, a promotion, a job, or a partnership with them in a romantic sense, they were dead wrong, because there's no one like you. But that person was obviously too short-sighted at the time, or altogether in general too short-sighted, and that's not someone that's going to be right for you. I mean, we all deserve someone who is truly appreciative of who we are, who really sees us for who we are, and who, is not so blind that they think, something else might actually be better, because it's absolutely not true. We each have our own beautiful, features and benefits. If you're going to have a plus minus list, we each have our own beautiful, unique set of characteristics and wonderful things about us. Although sometimes we don't express ourselves as authentically as we could. And I think sometimes we do ourselves a disservice in that way. And that's where this advice, again, previously, about really, really throwing ourselves and discovering our true passions and pursuing our true passions, that's going to bring out, the authentic fire within us, where we're truly being our authentic selves. Because if we weren't really showcasing our authentic selves to others, people might have actually gotten a more bland perspective or view of us. And that would have been wrong as well. But, not as much, in that case, their fault. Because if we were, kind of blending in just to get along and not create controversy at the office, just kind of dressing like everyone else and not trying not to stand out, things like that. Hopefully that's a learning lesson for us, to understand that, we're doing ourselves a disservice if we're trying to, just blend in and not express ourselves authentically with others, because we're not showing who we truly are, and we can't really blame someone for not seeing all of our beautiful and wonderful characteristics if we're hiding them. So again, no reason to compare ourselves to others, because everyone is unique and each of us has our own special blend of characteristics and wonderful, beautiful offerings of personality and temperament, to bring to relationship and to friendship and projects that we work on with other people, collaborations at work or in community. We all have something wonderful to bring to the table, but it only can be seen if we show up as our authentic selves. So stop comparing ourselves to others, and please try and show up authentically as our authentic selves. And that'll make things a lot easier, I think, for people to see us as we truly are. Going forward, how can I learn to trust? Balance. So that, sorry, I haven't shown all the cards either. Sorry about that. Balance. Bring balance to the situation. So I think Spirit's advice here is to bring balance into the situation, bring balance within ourselves, like balance our internal masculine and internal feminine energies, balance our, emotional and thinking, emotional and rational perspectives. Bring ourselves into balance internally. And from there, we're going to have a strong foundation where we're going to feel strong. We're going to feel enough strength to be able to trust again, whether it's, being able to put our hat in the ring for another promotion, or to, try dating again, to be willing to open up to new people. I think, again, pursuing a passion and building self-confidence is going to be huge, though, because, any situation where perhaps someone else was chosen, as which I'm picking up with this determination card, someone else was chosen instead of us in some situation, that can be a huge knock to our self-confidence, and it takes time to recover from that. Be gentle. We have to be gentle with ourselves. Don't, force ourselves to get back out there and, start dating. Do what feels comfortable for you, and and bring yourself back into balance when you're feeling self-confident. When you're feeling back in balance, you're going to be much more magnetic to others, whether it's for any opportunity, and that's going to bring in so many more opportunities for you. So I think I think that's where I'm going to stop it, but I actually am going to pull one more card for you from the Heart and Soul Oracle deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, and see if there's any additional advice for you. Whoa. Half the deck here. Those are heart-shaped cards, so they're a little bit challenging to shuffle. But let's see what comes up. and kind of large too. My hands are small. Sorry about that. Okay. I love the heart-shaped cards, but they're really a little challenging to hold in your hands. These are beautiful though. Okay, well, looks like we got 3. So, okay, here's the first one. It's beautiful. Okay. An enchanted world is available to you if you want it. Just as the oak tree is hidden in its seed, the goddess is within you. Reason devoid of feeling is merely harsh judgment. So listen to your heart and move beyond the boundaries you have placed around yourself. It's time to step into your power and create a world of bliss. Oh, that's beautiful. Let me take that. Okay. Second one is the second card. Really, these are so pretty. Okay. All is possible when your heartfelt vision is in alignment with your values. Believe in your dream, love it, breathe it, and let it fill your thoughts. But you must take action also. Work towards it a little each day until it becomes your primary action. Dreams are first envisaged, but then they must be built. You will succeed if you work at it. That's beautiful. Okay. And this is the third card that came out for you. A pool of suppressed emotions lies trapped within you, and it is time for you to release them. Allow your feelings and emotions to surface. You are safe. It is okay for you to open your heart and be vulnerable. This is a time for healing old wounds. This healing process is a blessing, not a curse. Oh, that's just gorgeous. It's time to feel your feelings. We've got to feel them to heal them. Especially if old things come up from childhood. Definitely want to feel those feelings so we can get past them and not be triggered so much again in the future, and enjoy that relationship that's right for us. I'm looking forward to that too. Okay, pile 1, it's been a real pleasure to read for you today. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention, and if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like this video, and please subscribe to my channel to receive notifications when I post future videos. Thank you, and until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care. Pile 2, welcome. If you've chosen the gorgeous heart-shaped citrine druzy crystal or were drawn to the Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards, this is your reading. Before we begin, I want to stress that I'm not a trained medical or mental health professional, so I encourage you to seek professional help for any serious or concerning issues affecting your mental or physical health, so that you can receive a proper diagnosis and appropriate care. Now let's get started pulling your cards. I've already pre-shuffled the cards, but we're going to draw one card for each of the 8 questions here. First being, what is the situation triggering jealousy? So let's find out. Oh, okay. We got two cards for that one. And that is ostentation and quarrel. Okay. Ostentation and quarrel. So sounds like in this situation, pile 2, somebody's showing off in a really big way, and because of a quarrel, like maybe you got into a kind of a lover's quarrel, and so maybe somebody is purposefully trying to make you jealous by doing something, taking some really big showy action, like, strutting like a peacock, showing up to some big event with somebody else or something, purposefully trying to make you jealous. Does that sound about right, pile 2? You'll know how that fits for you. Feel free to reverse roles. Possibly you got into a disagreement with someone you really care about, and you tried to make them jealous. Maybe backfired on you. Does that maybe ring a bell for some people? But yeah, here's ostentation. So like showing off, being really pompous. It's the word that comes to mind. Being ostentatious, or show off, and a quarrel. So yeah, some lovers quarrel. So somebody's trying to make someone jealous. That wouldn't be the first time. Okay, so let's see what else. So that seems to be the situation triggering jealousy, and I can see why. So number 2, why am I jealous over this? Let's see what. Health is what came up. Health. So health, well, I mean, it's causing heartache. It's causing you to feel bad. This could cause harm to your physical, mental, emotional, even financial health, even your stability. If you feel like you're in a quarrel with someone that you love, or we're just gonna assume this is kind of a romantic reading here, I think, because that's the premise of these readings is about healing these triggers in relationships. If you're in a fight with someone in your family that you love, and they're trying to make you jealous for some reason, even if it's like a sibling or something, trying to make you jealous because your parents chose them over you for something or another, that can really upset you, get you and cause damage to your physical health. If you're constantly upset about it, if you allow yourself to become upset about it all the time, give yourself an ulcer, get yourself really agitated and have anxiety. But potentially it could also have, a fiscal, financial health impacts to your financial well-being and stability, potentially. I guess, if you are feeling threatened enough that, someone else is choosing or favoring someone else over you, that means you might lose out on something. So that brings us to the next question. What am I trying to keep? What am I trying to keep? What am I trying to keep, Spirit? Okay, got a few cards here. So, optimism, trying to keep optimism, that's good. Power, manipulation, and independence. Wow, that's a lot. Those are some pretty powerful cards. Okay, so optimism. I think power and manipulation definitely go together, those two. Trying to keep power and manipulation, optimism and independence. Okay, so not necessarily saying that this is you, because the roles could be potentially reversed here, but someone is trying to leverage or keep the upper hand, keep power. They're trying to use their power to manipulate, use jealousy to manipulate, to hold on to power, continue to be independent and not dependent potentially by holding on to power, or by, using jealousy to manipulate. But the best advice, definitely to try and stay optimistic in this situation. But yeah, it's not great, but definitely, from the first two cards that we pulled, quarrel and ostentation, in regards to jealousy, it seems like someone was manipulating, after a quarrel, someone was trying to use jealousy to manipulate and gain an upper hand, and try and hold on to optimism, try and be the victor, try and win the situation, try to not lose their partner, try to not lose the upper hand, try to not lose their sense of independence or control over their, themselves or their own future, by, I guess, maybe they felt that you had won the quarrel, or that you had a moral high road in this quarrel, and because they didn't have as firm a leg to stand on in the original quarrel that you had with this person, they felt they had to use jealousy to manipulate and force you to want to take them back, or give in on some point that otherwise they would have lost on, because their point wasn't very well supported, possibly. But yeah, it's definitely a lot to think of. Also, I guess what I would say is, because we've got four things here, one or several could, because you're all have, individual situations, one or several could apply in your situation. And again, the roles could be reversed. You or your the person that is triggering this jealousy or trying to manipulate you with jealousy, could be trying to leverage one or more of these feelings or things against you. Yeah, that's a lot. That's pretty heavy. Why is this person? Why is pile 2 feeling threatened, Spirit? Why are they feeling threatened by this jealousy? Why is this jealousy making them feel threatened? Why does the jealousy bring out feelings of being threatened or something at risk? Concentration. Is there anything else? I have to clarify that one. Concentration. I think I know. Okay. What I'm feeling here about concentration, the reason you're feeling threatened when these feelings of jealousy come about are because you've concentrated all of your focus on this person or what they represent or what they're in control of. Like if this is a spouse or a sibling that is the executor, like if it's a sibling that's the executor of your parents' will, and the will has been tied up for 3 years or something, and you really need this to be settled here at some point soon, because your kids are getting ready to go into college or something. You've got a lot riding on this. Basically, there's a lot. You're highly dependent upon this person or a situation that person is in control of, and that is why you're feeling very vulnerable, and why probably they feel like they can leverage jealousy to manipulate you, unfortunately. So that's kind of what I'm picking up here, and I'm very sorry for that. But again, that's kind of a good thing to realize, I guess, is going forward, maybe making sure we're not putting ourselves in that position again where we're 100% or to such a high degree dependent or concentrating on this one person or this one source of income or this one focus of happiness, where we have multiple sources for fulfillment in our lives, not just this one person, because wow, they really have a whole lot of power if everything is concentrated in one person. That leaves us very vulnerable, and we can be threatened easily with jealousy, manipulation, whatever. So an important lesson there for us. Question number 5. What false belief have I created? Let's see. Adaptability. Okay, so we had a false belief about this situation previously, that maybe this was a person or a situation that would work with us, that would be flexible, and that wouldn't be so stubborn or so restrictive. But once we got into it, everything had to be about them, and they're the focus, and they're ostentatious. It sounds like some kind of Caesar complex or something, perhaps. Someone who has to be the center of things, and if they don't get their way, possibly, just looking at these faces, someone, if they don't get their way, they're gonna pout and be really make a big stink, and like a grown toddler, perhaps, someone. But unfortunately, this person perhaps also holds all the power. They hold all the power, and are in a position to manipulate you, and try to manipulate the situation with jealousy. But I will say, obviously they don't have all the power if they're trying to manipulate you with jealousy, because there must be something they want from you, because otherwise they wouldn't care, right? They wouldn't, there must be something they need from you. They must care about you, even though maybe they're very stubborn, or can't admit they're wrong, possibly, have a big ego, stuck in their ego, which is really unfortunate. But a lot of people are like that these days, and they need to grow up. But adaptability. I think the false belief we might have created in this situation was that that person would have been easier to work with, and maybe we were a little bit overly optimistic about their ability to be adaptable, or flexible, or not be so stubborn, and try to wield power and manipulation over us just to get their way. It's just what I'm picking up. Hopefully it's not that serious. Question 6, how can I build my self-confidence so we're not feeling so jealous, or not triggered into this jealousy, which leaves us vulnerable, leaves us feeling vulnerable, leaves us feeling threatened. As if we can't be made jealous, we can't be manipulated, at least not with jealousy. So how can I build my self-confidence? Flattery. Flattery. Okay, what I'm understanding here. So this is how we as the people who were triggered with this jealousy by this person who's trying to make us jealous to get the upper hand in a quarrel, is through flattery. And I think this is, and obviously, I don't believe that anyone who'd be watching this channel is someone who flatters themselves, or even it would even occur to you to flatter yourself. But the way I'm interpreting this is listening to like affirmations, and specifically, especially if you're someone who's not someone who's the opposite of this ostentatious person who probably is inclined to self-flattery or wants people to flatter them. I don't think you're like that person at all. I think you're probably a more humble person. What I'm picking up on here. So I think what can really help you is actually listening. You need something that is going to help build your self-confidence through your subconscious. And doing things like affirmations, I think you're more likely to have a lot of resistance to affirmations. Like the Saturday Night Live Stuart Smalley, I'm smart enough and I'm good enough, and gosh darn people I think probably, I think you're the type of person who probably would be resistant to believing a lot of flattery that you might try, and a lot of those types of affirmations where you might try to build yourself up with. So the way around that is through going past your conscious mind directly to your subconscious mind. And on YouTube, there are a lot of subliminal audio. Well, they're obviously videos because they're on YouTube, but they're subliminal audio tracks with video. Sometimes they have a black screen so you can listen to them while you sleep, which is awesome, which, you don't even have to think about it then. But you just put in some earbuds and, choose, search on YouTube for subliminal self-confidence affirmations, or what weight loss affirmation, whatever you're trying to help yourself with, if you want to become more attractive to the opposite sex, or you want to be more magnetic for money, anything like that, where you want to where normally you might say affirmations, but it takes so long to build up, that confidence through conscious affirmations, because most of us have a lot of resistance to those kinds of affirmations. Because if we're saying things like, I've got $1 million in the bank, and we know, our bank account is withdrawn by $55 at the moment, there's going to be a lot of mental resistance to saying I'm a millionaire, or whatever it is, that you're trying to if you're trying to manifest and build up a magnetism towards attracting good things to you. So the way around that is to go directly to your subconscious brain. And that's done with subliminal affirmations that you can't even hear in these audio tracks. And I would just use the free resources on YouTube, search for, self-confidence, self-love, subliminal affirmations, and, listen to it while you're doing something, while you're typing letters for work, or while you're doing housework, or while you're sleeping. And, that form of subliminal flattery is, I think, what Spirit is suggesting here for you, to quickly start feeling, building that self-confidence within yourself as, an attractive, powerful, capable person who, can function on your own without whatever this person was offering you, because you don't want to be subject to someone else manipulating you with jealousy or power or whatever. If both people are coming at this relationship from an equal footing, that's one thing. But if it's one person trying to overpower the other, or get an upper hand through manipulating with jealousy, that's not really fair, and that's not a great that's a faulty foundation for a relationship. So so building your self-confidence. It's going to help you not be triggered by jealousy. 7, question, how can I avoid comparing myself to others? Let's see what Spirit has to say to that. And I also just heard being kind to yourself. So, be kind to yourself, always. Okay. Enthusiasm. How can I avoid comparing myself to others? Enthusiasm. So being enthusiastic, making sure that the things you sign up for, that you agree to participate in, are things that you really believe in and that bring you happiness, or that give you a real sense of responsibility or community or belonging, or something that just really makes you feel warm inside. You have a real heartfelt commitment to it. Don't do things just because you feel obligated. Only involve yourself in things that really mean something to you and that you could be enthusiastic about and feel good about, and that are meaningful to your authentic self. Because at the end of the day, we're all unique individuals, and as long as we're being our authentic selves, there's no reason to compare ourselves to others, because everyone has something good to offer, something unique to offer the world. That's why we're here. And, when you feel good about yourself, you have no desire to compare yourself to others, because you're doing the best that you can, and you're shining your light in the world, and reaching your full potential, or getting there. I certainly can't say that I'm reaching my full potential, but I'm working towards it. We're all working towards our goals and things, and trying our best. That's the important thing, is doing what we can, as we can, with what we have and what we know, and being enthusiastic about it. So as long as we're doing things that are important to us, we're not going to care so much to compare ourselves to others. And if someone is trying to make us jealous, and shows up with someone else on their arm, just in an obvious attempt to try and make us jealous, we might, because we're so at home in our own skin, we're so self-confident, we know we're a good person, we've got plenty of good people around us, because we haven't concentrated our whole life just on one person. We've got plenty of different interests that we've built up and developed around ourselves. So it's not, we'd probably just have a good laugh at the person who tries to make us jealous and say, really, good luck with that. Because we know that we bring so much to the table, and that none of us are replaceable, because we're all our own little snowflake with our own beautiful design and beautiful quirks. And none of us are perfect, but that's what's beautiful about each of us. We're charming in our own way. So I think the more that you are authentic and stay away from doing things out of obligation, and as much as possible. Obviously, sometimes you really are obligated, and but as much as you can, where you have a choice. Um, uh, choose yourself, choose what really lights you up, and what is going to uh, give you that self-confidence and make you feel good about the time that you spend working on that, and gives you back energy towards yourself. And for the last question, how can I learn to trust after this jealousy trigger? Okay. Practicality. Okay. So in this card, a lot going on in this card. It's beautiful dragonfly. Oh, are these dragonflies or wasps? Wow. Lotuses, cattails. Wow. So much going on in this card. But we see people being very practical, doing the day-to-day work. We've got a division of labor here. Some people hoeing the earth to plant seeds. Some people, harvesting the crops. We've got another person here who's looks like they are maybe a ruler or some local magistrate. Got someone taking the wheat to the mill. So many everyone has their place in this society, and they're each doing their own job. Somebody's organizing the labor, or somebody and then each of the laborers have their tasks. Each of the animals have their tasks. Each of the plants and insects, fertilizing things, growing, seasons for reaping, sowing, everything in cycles. I think when this person can come back to their senses, I would say, and get back to, and if of course, when they get over whatever kind of ostentatious display they've done, I'm not sure how you may have reacted to it. You may not have reacted to it at all, which probably made them even more upset, because that means that they failed in making you jealous. But at the end of the day, this was lame. This was lame. Someone trying to make you jealous, trying to manipulate you through jealousy to gain power, or to prove a point. Yeah, not cool. Especially if you had so much riding on them or this situation. They would have known that too, and it would have been really unfair of them to try and just do something I don't know, so petty, really, to try and manipulate your feelings about things, to win an argument with you, I assume. So I would say, again, be practical, allow things to cool down, chop wood and carry water is one way to say it. Do what you have to do each day. Go to work, bring the kids to school and pick them up, and all the things that need to get done. Make sure you continue to do those things. Be practical. Don't fly off the handle, and allow this person to show you that they've regained control of their logical faculties, and that they're no longer, trying to assert, trying to manipulate things. And then at that point, I would think maybe you can, trust might be able to be reestablished. But in the meantime, while you're working on building up your self-confidence and your authenticity, so you don't have to worry about this type of maneuver, people triggering your jealousy or insecurities against you, to get an upper hand, to take advantage of you. So that doesn't have to, get the better of you in the future. So I hope this has provided some clarity on the situation for you. And I'm going to also pull a card for you from the Heart and Soul deck, from Tony Carmine Salerno. And we'll see if there's any other advice that Spirit has for you today. And I'm sorry that happened. Okay, we've got 2 cards here for you. Okay, so this is the first one, and it says, it's time to reflect on what really matters. Ultimately, this is love, peace, and happiness, and you can only find these within yourself. When there is peace and love in your heart, there will be peace and love in your world, for all your experiences are simply your own reflection. That's beautiful. And this is the second card that came out for you. It says, don't be swayed by someone's strong opinions. Just do what feels right for you. If what you're hearing doesn't resonate with you, then it most probably isn't right for you. Listen to and respect other people's views, but stay true to your own inner vision and beliefs. Live freely and express the beauty of your ideas. That's beautiful. Pile 2, it's been a real pleasure to read for you today. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like this video. And please subscribe to my channel to receive notifications when I post future videos. Thank you. And until next time, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. Welcome, Pile 3. If you chose the stunning blue sunstone crystal, or the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle cards, then this is your reading. Before we begin, I want to stress that I'm not a trained medical or mental health professional, so I encourage you to seek professional help for any serious issues or concerns affecting your mental or physical health so that you can receive a proper diagnosis and appropriate care. Now let's pull your cards. I've already pre-shuffled. Let's see what we're going to come out. So we're going to look at the first question here in Healing Jealousy. What is the situation triggering jealousy in this case for Pile 3? Please and thank you. Okay, interesting. The situation triggering jealousy in this situation, Pile 3, is card number 36, Sensuality in Reverse. So the frequency of sensuality is a beautiful card too. Look at that beautiful mandala. Beautiful card. but it was in reverse. So the frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So I'm interpreting this as a lack of physical affection, lack of maybe not even a lack of physical affection, but just a lack of sensuality, a lack of, I mean, there can be physical affection, but it doesn't have to be maybe the quality of physical affection that we would like. And sensuality doesn't have to include physical affection. Sensuality can be all about emotional attention and thoughtfulness, things like that. So sensuality requires, to my mind, quite a bit of creativity and thought. So yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to have. But if you're not receiving sensuality or haven't been in a relationship for a long time, definitely can understand why a person might feel jealous. Um, at not being able to receive that if they thought that was something that was going to be forthcoming or something that's being withheld as well. So yeah, absolutely understandable completely. And I just happened to pick up the deck at the bottom of the deck when I was picking it up to begin to pull for question number 2. I happened to turn it over and it says romantic love. So the frequency of romantic love supports our experience to know ourselves through the reflection of a conscious lover. So again, when we're in relationship, especially, that person so often is mirroring back to us all about ourselves, the good and the bad, the beautiful, creative, sensitive, thoughtful, interesting, quirky, um, sensitive, the foibles, the our shortcomings, even the romantic partner is always going to be a mirror, and especially if you're in a situation with a twin flame, even if you're in separation or together, a twin flame is your perfect mirror, obviously, and they're definitely going to be mirroring back to you, but in most cases, people are always going to be mirroring back to us things that we should consider how those things are reflections of parts of ourselves, good or bad. Okay, so lack of sensuality is the triggering of is what's triggering jealousy here in this situation. So why, question number 2, why am I jealous over this? Why am I jealous for this? And the response is second chakra. That's the sacral chakra. The energy of the sacral chakra helps us to navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world. So maybe our second chakra is out of balance. And the sacral chakra is the seat of our emotions. It's where we enjoy sensual pleasures, but it's also the place of creativity. This is where, we create children, in the form of a sensual and procreative arts, shall we say, but also creativity in forms of visual arts, in the world of art, in the world of invention, where we're creating something new, where we have new ideas. So if if we are not expressing ourselves creatively, if we are repressing our creative drives, to express our creative thoughts and inclinations, through art, music, or through working outside the home, or just redecorating the home, or if we're feeling stifled in terms of not being able to self-express somehow through inventing things, coming up with new ideas, a new advertising campaign, whatever it is, creativity, if our creativity is blocked, things like sensuality, our emotions, or if our emotional expression is blocked, if we are stuffing our emotions and not expressing our emotions, not expressing things as they come up, if we feel like it's not acceptable for us to be angry, or if it's not acceptable for us to express disappointment, jealousy, if it's not acceptable for us to express whatever emotions are coming up in our relationship, with our significant other or elsewhere in our lives, if we're feeling like we have to just, swallow our emotions, and in order to get along with other people, in order to appease people and get along, that is going to shut down our sacral chakra. And it's also going to significantly affect our self-expression in terms of being able to come up with new ideas, or if we're a working artist, be able to be a successful songwriter, or have a writer's block. We would have trouble coming up with new ideas at work. We wouldn't be as enthusiastic expressing ourselves in a romantic way as well, sensually. So it's so important to not just sweep things under the carpet and suppress our emotions. So that's what I'm getting is probably the most likely thing here. And then this romantic physical sensuality, the romantic sensuality is suffering as a result of someone suppressing their emotions, suppressing their feelings, feeling like they can't express their feelings or express themselves. Like maybe it's not safe to express themselves, or maybe they'll be judged if they express themselves. Again, this could be you, or this could be your partner. Roles could be reversed, so take it as it resonates. But it's really important to keep our energy in balance, and this one is so important. That second chakra, it's our emotions, it's our self-expression, and it's our expression of physical and emotional intimacy with a partner. So can definitely see where some jealousy might result as as a result of that. And it's not necessarily founded in like there's what I'm picking up on is not necessarily a reason, like it doesn't feel like a person's being rejected for someone else. It's just that the partner that they're with isn't expressive because they've kind of shut down their emotions, and it's putting them out of balance and putting all that emotional and sensual and create all that, every manner of creative expression is impacted as a result. Okay, so what am I trying to keep? Whoa, got a couple of questions. Whoa, got quite a few cards. Okay. What am I trying to keep? Union. The energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects through a state of wholeness. So what I'm taking from this union, what am I trying to keep? You're trying to keep the person who's feeling the feelings of jealousy is trying to hold on to a relationship. Wow. Divine masculine, trying to hold on to the divine masculine. And move over some of these cards. So this could be a twin flame situation. What am I trying to keep? Union, divine masculine. Let's scoot this up here. Third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. That's helps us to realize who we are and who we want to be so we can set a course towards our goals. That is your will. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read the description here for divine masculine. The frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. So the divine masculine is the part of us, or is because we all have divine masculine, divine feminine energies within us. And it's the masculine that is the active, more 3D physical side of the equation, and it's the feminine side that is the more spiritual, emotional side. So the masculine side can have more difficulty expressing their emotions than the feminine side. Next was third chakra, holding on to will and also self-confidence and ego, and taking action towards our goals. And the fourth card that popped out here for what am I trying to keep? So trying to hold on to a union with someone else, trying to hold on to the masculine aspect, the ego or the will, and integrity. The energy of integrity supports our choice to be consistently truthful and honest while being guided by high moral standards. So, yeah, this is interesting. So trying to hold on to union, the masculine aspect. Third chakra, the ego or expression and integrity. So maybe a little bit of trying to maintain something that's expected of us in the outer world. So like, a lot of people come from a background where they're expected to marry someone of the opposite sex, or possibly it's acceptable in your culture to marry people of someone of the same sex. I know some cultures still don't accept that, but there, whatever you've grown up thinking is what's supposed to be done, that's what your goal was to get into a strong partnership in the physical world, and to maintain this, to have this integrity and strength and a little bit kind of ego, I guess. I'm just picking up a little bit of I don't want to say superficiality, but you or your partner was feeling a lot of your identity, had a lot of your identity tied up in this union, in this couplehood, in this relationship, in this working out. And whether or not anyone knows that you feel this way, that there's like a lack of sensuality, or an issue with imbalance with self-expression and emotions are being repressed, the world probably doesn't see this part. They probably are seeing that, you're a power couple or a strong couple, and this is something that I have the feeling you both are still very committed to keeping up this foundation, this strong foundation. But I feel like there's a feeling on the inside that maybe it's starting to feel a little hollow at this point, because someone's not expressing their emotions, or not expressing themselves, and that's hampering the real emotional and physical intimacy and connection, the romantic connection. But again, there was that card that indicated romantic love, so I do feel that there is romantic love here. It's just that somehow it's there's the outer facade, which is important to maintain here. There's this feeling that, that must be maintained. We're trying to hold on to this for sure. But, perhaps not as much emphasis is being paid to the emotional part of it, to that squishy connection between the two of you that makes things so nice, makes it so pleasant to be home with that person, So let's move on to question 4. Why do I feel threatened with this jealousy? Interesting. Okay. Why do I feel threatened? Originality. Is that a pretty card? The frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. Wow, that's beautiful. This, kind of goes back to, again, we're seeing the word creators, unlimited possibilities, being unique. This goes back to the first two, to be sensual, it requires a lot of creativity. And the second chakra is all about your creativity, your procreativity, literally, and your creative ideas, your creative expression, your emotional expression. And you're feeling threatened, you're feeling jealous because there's not, or jealousy was triggered because they're not feeling this. But this is here. You've felt this with this person before. It's unlike anything else. It's unique. It's supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. So I'm feeling like, just the reason that you got into a union with this person in the first place, or that you want to come into union with this person, if it's, a connection or in separation, is because this person lights you up like nobody else you've ever met. And they, it's like nothing else you've ever experienced. And you feel unlimited, and you want just so badly to know what do we have to do to get back to this, to turn this right side up, and what, let's get this unblocked so we can get back to being our best selves, being our unique selves. Because being in a cookie cutter power couple situation just to keep up with the Joneses, or to keep up some facade, or to fulfill some type of family or assumed obligation, something that you felt you were supposed to do ever since you were a kid. You were supposed to get into a relationship like the one that your parents had. That's not what it's about. It's about fulfilling yourself and reaching your highest potential. And you felt that with this person. You felt that excitement. You felt like your true self. You felt like you were really seen and understood, and this somehow, this person's energy just lit you up and filled you with ideas and all kinds of things that you wanted to pursue, and it was so exciting. And somehow that got lost in maybe in more of a superficial image, or in other people's ideas about what you guys should do, or in the day-to-day trying to fulfill roles, or trying to succeed at a job, something like that. Somehow this creativity and our own originality got a little bit lost somewhere, and that needs to be, we're feeling threatened because when we had this, we felt unstoppable. That's what I'm feeling. When we had this, when we originally met, and this person set your soul on fire, and likewise, you were unstoppable. But somehow some other concerns have weighed somebody down, I feel. So I hope that helps, but that's kind of what I'm picking up there. So what false belief have I created? And again, the roles could be reversed, since we're talking about kind of a couple situation here. Oh, and when we say divine masculine, divine feminine, it doesn't have to mean a male or female. We're not talking about a person's physical attributes. We're talking about the energy. Masculine energy is active. Hey, cats, stop it. Sorry. The masculine energy active feminine energy, more receptive. Plenty of men who are more in their feminine energy, plenty of women who are more in their masculine energy. It doesn't make them any less or more of a man or a woman. It's just some people are more action oriented, some people are more emotional or spiritually oriented. It's just about the energy, not gender, not body parts. Okay, what false belief have I created? Please and thank you. Sensitivity. It's a pretty card too. The frequency of sensitivity helps us open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. So, what false belief have I created of sensitivity? So, what I'm picking up from this is that you're sweeping things under the carpet. Where things in the past, you guys were really, really open to each other in the past. Things are being swept under the carpet now, and maybe you're both a little bit assuming the other person is able to read your mind, maybe not as communicative, and maybe hurting your own feelings by assuming the other person should know better and should be more sensitive, when they're also kind of doing the same thing, and they're also feeling hurt and feeling like you're not picking up on what's bothering them as well. So it's not really fair for you guys to assume that your partner can read your mind, even if they are psychic. It's not fair to assume they can read your mind all the time and know exactly what you're feeling, and if you're not going to tell them, what's going on with you, and just assuming that everything's fine because you haven't had a huge blow up fight, that everything's fine, that they're understanding everything that's going on with you. You guys have to make time and make it a priority to talk and to be honest and open with each other about how you're feeling, and what's going on with you, and not just gloss over things and sweep things under the carpet, because obviously something you're not connecting like you want to or used to, and that requires more communication and open, honest communication and balancing of your energies, and balancing the second chakra, again, self-expression and doing things creatively, singing, dancing, just painting or coloring there's a million different adult coloring books they have out there, all kinds of things, just mindlessly kind of doing that type of stuff, or putting together a model or something together, maybe something that you could do together, even putting together a jigsaw puzzle together, something that, you can kind of do together, I think might be a really good activity that would allow for a creative expression and help to balance your sacral chakras and help you open up to each other. That's what I'm picking up here. 6, how can I build my self-confidence so that jealousy isn't so much of a trigger? We don't want you feeling jealous. So it doesn't sound like this is something that was probably intended by your partner. It seems like just kind of something that happened. Let's see. Okay. Authenticity. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Authenticity came out in the reverse. It's a beautiful, beautiful image. Beautiful fractal. The energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives with others as well as with ourselves. So what I'm thinking is that one or both of you haven't been being authentic with each other. You've, like we were saying before, been maybe glossing over things, just saying, oh yeah, it's fine, when your feelings were really hurt or something actually did bother you, but you didn't want to ruffle anyone's feathers, or you didn't want to make a big deal about it. But then, those things add up, and after a while you feel like you're not important, or you feel slighted, or like nobody cares, and that that's not good. So how can I build up my self-confidence? Being your authentic self, being genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives with others as with ourselves. I mean, I think that really says it all. That's brilliant. Authenticity. This authenticity has come up in all 3 of these readings. So again, and I think it's a great answer to that question as well. How can I avoid comparing myself to others? Question 7. You're going to build up your authenticity. You're going to build your self-confidence by being more authentic. You're going to solidify your relationship by being more authentic. You guys are going to feel better together, being more authentic. How can I avoid comparing myself to others? Oh, wow. This is beautiful. Tenderness. The energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. That's beautiful. So be tender with yourself and with your partner. And, taking that tenderness with yourself and with your partner and with your relationship, you're not going to worry about anyone else. Nobody, it doesn't concern anyone else. It's just yourself. Your relationship with yourself is primary. But also, obviously your relationship with your partner is of great importance, and tenderness with yourself and your partner, and with that relationship, making yourselves as individuals a priority and this relationship a priority, not worrying so much about what other people think or what, your image in the community, whatever. People all have their own problems. They're not worried about what you guys are doing. But if they are, don't worry about it. Just make sure you're tending to yourself and giving yourself that tenderness and extra care. And as long as you're doing that, you won't be comparing yourself to others because you're being tender with yourself. It would not be tender or compassionate. And again, at the bottom of the deck, romantic love again. So I just feel like there's so much love between you two. This is a beautiful relationship, and it's just something's gotten a little bit bogged down. But you need to make that authenticity and honesty and self-expression individually and together a real priority. And but I see very good things for you here. So how can I learn to trust? Sorry, these cards are a little large for my hands. Okay, how can I learn to trust reflection? The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we get from the contemplation of self and others. Okay, so through this exercise, maybe also through some journaling, again, reflecting on, what's happened, how things, have gotten to this point, and honestly think about, what's really happened. Has this person, I don't feel this person has tried to hurt you or make you feel jealous or put you on the back burner or something. It just to me, it feels like people, you've probably both gotten bogged down in your own worries and maybe stopped communicating as much as you used to, or as much as would be beneficial to this relationship. And once you again, maybe stop appeasing others or stop pushing, sweeping things under the carpet. Be honest about how things make you feel. You don't obviously have to be like, you don't want to. You probably didn't want to make a big deal about things. You don't want to complain about things. You want to be a good sport and everything. But you know what? If something really bothers you and now it's happened 10 times, that's definitely time to say something. And before resentments start stacking up, then that can cause some real damage. So important to talk about those things before they become big things. And there really is a lot of love here, I think. And I think once you guys get back on the same page and try and stay balanced and try and continuously and regularly do creative self-expression on your own, together, both, I think you're going to have that creativity flowing. You're staying true to yourself, expressing yourself, being tender toward yourself, being your original self, being that person that gets, those people that get each other so excited about life and enjoying life together. you're going to be back on track in no time, I think. So just a little bit more specific attention to this, and lots of love that you already have for each other. I think it's going to be great. I'm really very optimistic for you, for this couple. Now, finally, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you from, or however many cards come out for you, from the Heart and Soul deck from Tony Carmine Salerno. We'll see if Spirit has any more messages for you, any more advice, thoughts, closing thoughts for pile 3, please. Okay. So we have 3 cards here for you. This is the first card. And it says, "Be bold and strong, for you are the creator of your own destiny. Look within, you will find everything you need there. Burst forth from your cocoon and fly. The sky is the limit if you follow your heart and listen and your own inner guidance. Listen to what others say, but do not blindly follow their advice." Yeah, no kidding. Be authentic. Okay, here's another one. "You are a beautiful soul. Look within and you will see it. There is a pearl in your heart. Close your eyes and feel it. The most precious thing is inside you. Calm your mind, meditate, and you will feel your soul's infinite spiritual realm. In looking within, you will never go without." Okay, this last one is so pretty. Really beautiful. "An angel surrounds you with rainbow wings, here to reconnect you with your true nature, the balanced, healthy, sensitive, and loving you. Remember that there is more to life than your achievements. Consciously connecting your spiritual and physical realities will help you reconnect to the sacred, infinite, and creative part of yourself that is yearning to play a greater role in your life." That's just a beautiful way to close this out. I think, yeah, it sounds like, you guys maybe got a little bit bogged down with work and things like that. And it's time to reconnect with your true selves, the selves you fell in love with. So I'm so glad you came here today, pile 3. It's been a real pleasure for me to read for you today. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like this video. And please subscribe to my channel to receive notifications when I post future videos. Thank you. And until next time, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.